Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca, just in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and the cards I'm using are listed below if you want those details. Also, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into your choice. Hello, Aquarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aquarius? This is Aquarius. It's very like, this is where that goes. This is where that goes. Oh, that's really... That Ace of Pentacles is like all over the place today. You're headed towards it, which is not bad. Not bad. It depends. Whatever you're creating, as long as you actually want to keep it, cool, cool, cool. Stop. Okay. You've been going along with it for this point, up to this point. Up to this point, going along with it. You've been doing your thing, and it's been working for you. What do we mean by that? They doubled down on the Nine of Pentacles and Judgment in your favor. Whatever this situation is, you've kept a buffer. I don't see this being a challenge for Aquarius. People know what you want them to know. People perceive you the way you want to be perceived. You've kept the buffer. And it's gone quite well for the longest time. Why change that, right? Why would you change this? Because I think you're ready for a change. You're ready for a change. We're ready for a change. Opportunity is coming your way. And you're ready for a change. Something here is challenging the system for you. You got it's the Strength card. It's your opposite card, quite frankly. It talks about Leo energy. Leo is the opposite of Aquarius. And then you got the Five of Cups. Kind of like, you're ready for a change, but it's kind of like... I'm kind of comfortable, but I'm also kind of over it. It's one of those things where it reminds me of having a job where it's very predictable. It's not stressful, but it's kind of like, yeah, I'm going there again. It's kind of like, it's not bad, but it doesn't really like, it's not exciting. It's just not exciting. It's kind of like, that's the analogy. Whatever this is, it's kind of like, yeah, it's safe. It's safe, has its value. I'm going to just do the dice on that again. There's something with this kind of like, I feel like you're probably, if this reading is hitting, you're kind of fighting yourself. Like, I really want to spice it up, but at the same time, I've really enjoyed it not being crazy. Yeah, you know. Life doesn't stay this way forever. You know this. And I feel like this is part of the reason that you're kind of itching for the change. It's kind of coming into this moment where it's like, well, it's going to change anyway, sooner or later. This life doesn't stay the same forever, so it's going to change sooner or later. And since it probably will anyway, you might as well be in control of what you want. You might as well be on the forefront of that. You got the High Priestess, and you got the Queen of Swords, which I like. That's a very, you got it coming up again later too. I feel like it's kind of like, you know what, it's going to have to change sooner or later anyway. Everything has a shelf life. Things change. Things always change. Sooner or later, everything changes. So, and you're already feeling it. I feel like the energy is kind of like, yeah, I'm ready for a change. I'm ready for things to go a little different. And you already know what you want. I don't feel like I'm worried about that. You already know what you want. It's just this kind of like, once I change it though, I can't change it back. Or at least, no. I feel like this is like putting the eggs in the batter. Once they're mixed in, once they're mixed in, I can get other eggs. But those eggs, they're in the batter. They're there. They're mixed in, they're mixed in. That's that. The energy is positive. It's got the sun card here. Opportunity is showing itself. And you're ready to make the change. You're ready to make something different happen here. I don't know why it kind of gets stuck here for a second. Because I feel like I am hesitating. Why are we hesitating? There's a way for you to do this without conflict. I don't know how this is going to sound. There is a way to do this without conflict. But it doesn't mean you're going to choose that way. It's fine, whatever you choose. I feel like if I do this without conflict, I don't know. For some reason, I mean, it doesn't have to be like violence. So it doesn't have to be like that type of conflict, but I feel like there's conflict. It's kind of like, well, maybe there could be some conflict, verbal sparring, if you will. It doesn't have to be like violent, but conflict, if you follow me. I feel like you're going to understand that better even than I understand that, quite frankly. And what starts the change is just you knowing what you want and then just letting it go. It's kind of like, I know I want to sell this house, and then you just start looking for realtors, and people are like, why are you looking for realtors? Oh, I'm going to sell the house. Wait, what? Well, why didn't you say something? Why didn't we talk this out? What's to talk about? I already made up my mind. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It just keeps... That's how this is coming forward. You got to do it the way you feel is right. You can do the smooth way. I just don't feel like it's realistic. I keep getting grace here. Like, grace doesn't have to mean, like, kid gloving it. You have to do it with kid gloves. That doesn't have to be great. Grace can be like where you're just going to do what you're going to do, and then when people ask you what you're doing, you're like, oh, you can be very graceful with how you're explaining it. You're going to do what you're going to do. It's just graceful how you're explaining it. I keep getting like, y'all are going to understand this more than I do, because I'm like, it does seem a little bit spicy, but you got to do what you got to do. I just feel like you know what I'm talking about. It's going to start slow. It's not going to be very long before it goes from page energy to king energy. Boom. Going to go really quick from one to the next. Fire does move fast, and fire can get out of control really quickly. I don't know that this is out of control. You know where you want to go. It's heading in the direction you want. I'm going to take this with a grain of salt before we go into this, because this is kind of like... smoothing over other people's feelings. I feel like that's better later. Take that with a grain of salt. I don't know. I feel really kind of like, ugh. Take it with a grain of salt. You got to do what you think is right. It may be more advantageous to do it afterwards. One of the reasons I'm getting this, I think, and I'm just being very careful with this, is you only have so much patience. You know if that's right or not. Take it with a grain of salt. And if you try to smooth people's feelings over now, I just feel like they're going to use up your reserve quicker than you expect. And even though going forward you'll probably try to be more graceful, it may not come off that way. So it's kind of like maybe you'll kind of want to like be more conservative with explanations in the beginning and save it for later. Another way to look at this is just kind of like people are going to feel the way they're going to feel for now. I just got to head to what I need. you are looking out for people. It's not like you're being selfish. You are looking out for people. You know what needs to happen here. I feel like we just need to get through making it happen. They're going to feel a little bit like things are a little unsettled. What is that? So it comes in, and the first thing is like they don't really want to let you do it, but they also understand that you're going to do what you're going to do. And they understand it'll work out in the long run. They seem to understand that. They would like more control that I don't think they're going to have anyway. The Ten of Wands is stress, but there's success on the other side. And they seem to understand there will be success on the other side. So they do know that. The Wheel of Fortune throws up some stuff. They're going to see it as the Wheel of Fortune. I don't know if you're going to see it as the Wheel of Fortune, because you're in more control about what's going to happen. So for them, what's coming at them might feel like the Wheel of Fortune, but you got their back. People who are good to you, you're good to them. That's how that works. So it'll work out. It'll be all right. You're going to bring them a lot of things that they can do a lot with. There's going to be a lot of opportunities that come for them later. Taking a moment every 5 minutes to explain what's going on, I just feel like that's going to burn your nerve more than actually anything else. I really think it's going to burn your nerve. I really do. Take it with a grain of salt. You know yourself better than I do. Opportunities will show up for them. They will. They're just going to have to get in line with it. It's going to take them a minute. Whole new era is coming in. They have the Death card. That's a whole new era. You have the World card. I feel like the reason you got the World card is because you're more in control about what's coming forward. And there's going to be a lot of opportunities coming in. I don't think this is bad. But I'm also going to say that whoever you're dealing with may fight against that. And it's like easier to deal with it when it's already been changed. Because once they're there, it's kind of like, well, if they want to fight against it, hold your breath as long as you want. You'll just pass out, and then you'll wake up at your own time. There's a lot to offer for not just you, but for other people. It's going to take some time for the change to settle in. I just feel like this is one of those things, once the change is made, it's one of those, give it time. Especially when they got fertility with the tree. Typically, trees take many years before they really start to get to the point where they can bear fruit. I think. At least that's my interpretation. Like, they have to grow a few years before you start getting fruit, or at least a notable amount of fruit. You know what I'm saying? So, this is going to be one of those things where the change is worth it. Other people are going to make out with this too. It just may take a long time before they really make peace with it and start seeing the benefits that they need from it. It may take a long time, but this is a long-term change. This also feels a lot better for you. You're going to see a lot of possibilities, a lot of different angles that you can do things with. Seems to work for you, but it's a long haul, a long-term profit. It's one of those things. It's like I keep getting savings bonds. I think that's how they work. You know, it takes many years before you actually get the benefit from them. That's what this is going to be. Are we there? I think we're there. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.